Yes people, what's going on? It's your boy Ashton and I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Now I just want to start off today's video by saying this was made entirely possible by EA Game Changers, who invited me to play Apex Season 9 Legacy early, and I was able to get hands-on time with the new Legend Valkyrie and the new weapon, the BOCEK BOW. So what we're going to do is give you a full rundown of both of those things and give you a little bit more insight about what you can expect to come in Season 9. So then, first things first, I know a lot of you will be interested in what Valk's legendary skins look like, so I figured I'd make them the first thing that we look at. She has 4, just like all of the other legends on release, and they are some really nice skins. So first up we have the Titan tested legendary skin with the orange and white colouring. Kinda simplistic, but I do like that in a skin sometimes, and this is personally one of my favourites. Next up we have the military grade skin, which is a green recolor of the skin that we just looked at. And the other 2 legendary skins that Valk has are the Golden Opportunity and Azure Blessing skins, which are clearly more fantasy based skins. They are really cool with that headpiece as well.
Top of his head.
Definitely ones to cop if you are a Valk main from launch. I'm also going to give you a quick rundown of each of Valk's legendary banner frames, because personally this is one of the most important parts about a new legend coming out, is checking out all of their new banner frames, and all of Valk's are really nice. So now we've seen all of Valk's different legendary skins, let's take a closer look at her abilities and how exactly she'll play in game. Starting off with her different passive abilities. Now Valk is a legend who does have more than one passive ability. In fact, she has 3 different passive abilities to her name. Now Valk is a member of the Recon class family, which means she is able to scan recon beacons, and that is going to be one of her passive abilities. The second one is of course that she can fly on her jetpack. There are settings in the menu in order to toggle in which way you like to fly with your jetpack, whether or not you are a toggle or hold player. Definitely I recommend switching to hold, as it feels a lot smoother and better when you're playing on Valk. And her third passive ability is going to be that while you're skydiving, and by skydiving I mean from the dropship, jump tower, or her ultimate ability, which we will talk about later. This does not include on her jetpack or free falling, but when you are skydiving, all enemies will be highlighted very clearly for you to see, so that you can make sure that you know where everyone is whilst you're landing. Now Valk's tactical ability, or Q as some may know it, is called Missile Swarm, and this is where you fire a bunch of missiles at your enemy, inducing a 1 to 2 second stun effect on them and also dealing around 30 damage if you land them right on target. This ability is best used partnered up with the passive VTOL jets, where you can fly up in the sky and launch an airstrike on your opponents from above. It's worth mentioning that this is the only way that you can attack enemies whilst in the sky using the jetpack. You can't shoot whilst in the sky, so I don't want any of you getting Horizon vibes from Season 7. It's definitely not the same as that. You're also pretty easy to shoot out of the sky once you're on your jetpack, so yeah, it's definitely not going to be an oppressive ability at all. It is just a movement mechanic for the most part. And last but not least, Horizon's ultimate is of course her Skyward Dive ability, where her and her teammates can redeploy from any position using her ultimate ability. It's going to launch you up in the sky and you're going to be able to skydive wherever you want, and you can use this offensively or defensively to get away from a tricky situation. Having played her a number of times throughout the day, I would say that Valk is a very balanced legend, and I don't think many people are going to have problems with her being too overpowered. I think she slots into the game really nicely. People who are going to enjoy her movement abilities are going to really enjoy playing her, and the tactical and ultimate definitely aren't too overpowered. I really think she'll be a fun legend to use, especially in pub lobbies. Whether or not she'll be viable in ranked lobbies is yet to be seen, but definitely she has earned her place amongst the viable legends in Apex. But taking a step away from Valk and moving on to the BOCEK BOW, we're going to start off by looking at the legendary skins that the bow is coming with in Season 9. As you can see here, the BOCEK comes with 4 legendary skins: the Night Piercer, Meteor Shot, Ivory Fire, and Timeless Timber. Make sure to let me know in the comments section down below your favourite skins for both Valk and the BOCEK BOW. Moving back in game once again though, we're going to have a deeper look at the BOCEK BOW and how exactly it plays in game. The BOCEK is the first weapon in Apex history to come out with its own specific ammo type, and that's of course gonna be bow bullets. No, I'm just kidding. Of course, it's arrows. Arrows will come specifically for the BOCEK bow, and you're only going to find arrows alongside bows when they spawn. You're not going to find arrows in bins or anything like that, so there aren't going to be that many arrows to go around. Now, obviously, this means you're going to have to hit your shots, but you're probably wondering what you're going to do when you run out of arrows. But the great part about arrows is that once you hit an enemy, they will stay in the death box of that enemy after they've died, so you can retrieve your arrows from your enemy's corpses. If you miss your shots, you don't need to worry either, because you can pick up arrows from the ground where you missed. A fully charged BOCEK shot will hit for 70 damage and can hit in the head for over 100 depending on what type of helmet you have. It's going to be between 100 and around 130 damage. You can shoot the BOCEK without it being fully charged, but you are going to be hitting for less damage, somewhere around the 30 to 40 damage region. There are also two brand new Hopups coming into Apex Legends Season 9 which both go on the BOCEK and both can be equipped on the BOCEK at the same time. These Hopups are called Shattercaps and Deadeye's Tempo. Deadeye's Tempo is a Hopup which increases the fire rate of specific weapons after perfectly timed shots. This Hopup will go specifically on the Sentinel and the BOCEK bow, and is really effective on the bow for getting those quick successive shots off at full power. Now, Shattercaps is a Hopup which allows the bow to become more viable at close range. You can change the fire mode into a sort of spread pattern which is more like a shotgun and is definitely more effective for dealing with enemies up close. This Hopup is also usable on the 30-30 repeater, so I thought it'd be worth mentioning that that gun is getting a bit of love in that department as well. But moving back to the BOCEK, let's talk about its strengths and weaknesses and whether or not it will be viable for you to use in-game. The BOCEK is definitely one of those weapons which has a high skill gap. It's not easy to hit those shots, but when you hit them, you're going to feel rewarded because you're going to be dealing a good amount of damage. Consider it a more high-powered wingman. Because of its various Hopups, I would say this is a weapon that is viable to use in several different loadouts. It has great coverage for long-range scenarios, but with the Shattercaps Hopup, can also be used at close range as well. My first impressions of the BOCEK is that it is an extremely strong weapon in Apex Legends, and if you master it, you're not someone to be messed with. If you're hitting consecutive full power shots with the BOCEK, you're going to be dealing upwards of 140 damage, and that's only if you're hitting the body. If you hit a headshot, then you're in dreamland, and personally, I think it may be a little bit too strong on release, but only time will tell if that's the case. I think you're going to see a lot of the BOCEK on release because it's such a unique weapon and everyone's going to want to try it out, so you might feel like you're getting killed by a bow every single game for the first few weeks that it's out, and that's natural when a new weapon comes out to the game, especially when it's a strong one. Everyone's going to want to get their hands on it. Make sure to drop a like on the video if you are excited for Valk and the BOCEK bow coming in Season 9, and subscribe to the channel for more Apex Legends Season 9 content. That's all from me today, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy, and goodbye.